1909. At that time, Dad was 25 and 9, 34 years old, just about. And Mother was 27, just about 28. And we moved to Minneapolis. First place we lived, I guess, was 4th Avenue North. That's where I was born. And from there, the next place I remember is Knox Avenue and then Ash Street, then Aldrich, while we were in the city. I really liked going to school. Because Helen and I would walk across the bridge with our lunch pails and go to school there and walk home together again. And then after, when we lived in Aldrich and I went to the Ascension School, I had to go by myself. That was only a couple of blocks. I had lived only in Minneapolis, and we did move around. The strange part was, Dad was an engineer, and I don't know if he didn't believe in streetcars or just what, but if he would get a place like maybe from this depot to that place, whatever it was, we would move near there so you wouldn't have to walk too far. So I remember we had, let's see, Knox Avenue North is the first place I remember, and we lived in a duplex there above the Shellhorn family, Mr. and Mrs. Shellhorn and their son. And I know that I wasn't any bother because I was always had to be walking very quietly and everything. That's where my sister Kay was born. But also, that is where I started school. And I didn't start school in that September when I was 6 because that's the month Kay was born. And but Mother got the Beacon primer from a friend of hers, and so I started to read. So when I finally did start school in January, I could read right along with the rest of the first graders. But I went to school at what was then called the Pro Cathedral. It was a school, and the place now is called the Basilica of St. Mary in Minneapolis. And Helen Bradkey, a little 6-year-old girl, and I, she was also an engineer's daughter, and I walked over the Bryn Mawr Bridge to school. And it was during the year while we were there, this was in spring of 1918, that I didn't hear the details, of course, but anyway, there was another train coming at Dad on the same set of tracks, and so he set his brakes, did what he could for his train, and then he jumped. And because he deserted his train, they laid him off. And he had, before that meant, of course, right away we were without any income. There were nothing, I don't know, they must have had some savings. So, he had, before that, invested in a little piece of land up north of Motley. I don't remember just how many acres it was, but anyway, there was a little unfinished shack on that place, single siding, single roof, and so we moved up to that. We stored most of our furniture with out in the dinner place, because they had a big house. Took just the essentials, table, 4 chairs, a wood stove, and I suppose beds, 2 beds probably, and moved up there. And I just loved it because we could have kittens in the haymow. I really liked that, and I could climb the trees, and there were trees all around there. Nothing so completely different and so much better than Minneapolis, as far as I was concerned. Dad put an ad in the Minneapolis paper for a hired man to come and work on the farm. And this fellow from New Brighton answered her. Sylvester Silverius Shoulda was his whole name.
It's amazing how you do that.
Well, it was such an unusual name. Well, anyway, he came up, and he really stirred things around and started getting everything organized. He named the cows, and he weighed their milk, and he fed them accordingly. They got enough grain according to the amount of milk they were giving and things like that. And he organized all the tools we had. He made little boxes of them, for them, you know the difference. screws and nuts and bolts and all that type of thing,
Sure.
and arranged that. And I don't remember what else he did, but anyway, he really worked. So unusual. And the old Norwegian neighbor that we had said to my dad one day, "That's core as a cracker yak of a hired man you have over there."